All right, howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I'd be back. All right, here we go. That was Australia there getting hammered. Okay, let's come on over to our solar report here. And just so you can see here. Oops, can we get a little bit more? We're a little too close in. There we go. As you can see, it's January 30th, 2024. All right, let's get back in there a little bit better. Here's your date down here as well. Okay, here I had freeze framed on this frame right here. You can see our little object right over here coming out, wrapped in plasma. You can see it reacting to the instrument. There's another one right here making a dent in our instrumentation out front here. Okay, so let me just kind of adjust this a tad bit better. There we go. And let's, I'll go ahead and start this loop. It might be a little jumpy tonight. Our internet, well, it seems to be doing better now. So, all right. So there's your loop playing. All right, for January 30th, 2024, 13024. Wow. Anyways, you can see we've had this little object and the other one with it create a little blast. There's something else there, and then this bigger one here. All kinds of other stuff going around the sides here. So I'll just kind of let you guys look at that with your trained eye for a second. You can see that event. Something was going on as it was moving out of the screen. Stuff was flowing around it. Hang on. This event right there. See that? You can see the blast flowing over it. All right, so let's catch this opening frame when it comes back around here. All right, opening frame. Yep, right there. 024. Opening frame. A little stud scattered around. You can see this area right here brightening up. And then as we continue on here, we have that event right there that happened. Let me X out of this real quick. All right. Now continuing on. You can see this right here. See, there's an object right here, this Boeing in the instrument right there. Then we have another one following out behind it right there. If I can catch this button again. All right, I got to slide this up just a tad bit more so I can get this button. There we go. All right, this one's sneaking out down here too. Then we have this one. Something in there, something there. They're just all over the place there. You guys should come over here to this instrument, click through these frames, zoom in on some of them, check them out yourself there. And then, whoops, we have this bigger blast right here. Here's another object. You can see it right here. And then, all right, now I want to back up through that. Where was the one good shot of it? I think it's right there, yeah. All right, here's our object right here. You see the little indentation it's putting, the blue stripes going right across it right there. And then Note this flow that's coming off of it. So here's your round object. You got this flow up here and back there. And while we're zoomed in, let's just see if we can do this a little bit. There's a good shot of it right there. All right, when I do it forward, whoa, it's going to jump a little bit, but we'll scoot it back. Okay, there it is right there. Come back here, you. There we go. Right here, and then there seems to be a secondary one right there. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to pull back a little bit now so we can continue to use the buttons down here. And then, so you can see it right in there, this double shot, whatever's going on there. I'll let you be the judge of that. But then you can see all the plasma that comes out behind it. Look over here, too. You can see this wall of plasma hits this dark little round spheroid and kind of flying around it. See that? See this shadow area? Here's your object, and it's creating a shadow. All right, boom, boom, boom. Looks like, whoops. Looks like there might be something back in there, too. See right here on this side, right there. So those objects caused quite a blast there on that side. Yeah. Yeah, this is what it's like when worlds collide. We get all kinds of activity off the sun, which in turn affects the earth. And did you see this little guy streaking up through here when it starts over again here? Right here. So yeah, lots of activity going on over there. All right, let's get over here to the solar ham here real quick. While we're waiting, thank you all for coming out tonight and swinging by here. Hopefully you've maybe we're looking forward to this show and you're getting relief from some of this information and not anxiety from this information. Okay, so let's pull back a little bit here. You can see our GOES X-ray flux after our event was a long tapered off, drop down to the sea floor. Here's today's box. Here, let's just zoom in. All right, there you go. Pretty quiet. Well, it looks pretty quiet. There's our main pop right there. That was the bigger one that we saw. And then already going into tomorrow, just a little bit there. Okay, so pull back. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, you guys are so patient. Thank you. All right, our M flare potential still 25% here. Proton thing is down to 1%. Our event has kind of ended now. And it wasn't a super long duration one like we had the first time. But this one, because it was a long duration event, it had a long duration, like tapering off of the D layer absorption, of all absorption. Now we still got the CME coming. But in the meantime, everything, a lot of green on the screen. So geomagnetic forecast for the next 3 days, nothing. I think that'll change. We got this inbound wave still that's going to clip us on the 1st. So this where it says for the first showing a G01 or whatever, G0. We might see a G1 to 2 on that day. I think they forgot we were going to get clipped. Anyways, whoops. Let's just pull back. Your KP index right now, about, well, before it was down to 2 here. So pretty calm, pretty quiet right there. Let's open up our auroras real quick here. All right. Aurora's just your kind of average aurora, nothing yellow, nothing red, but still pretty thick and consistent green going around it. Okay, so we are still getting scraped with some solar wind, which is energy. When you see it hitting the poles like this, that goes down to the core. Okay, it all gets directed to the poles up here via the magnetic field lines, and then it goes down to the core. So, not taking in a bunch, but that's good because we had the long duration event, absorption event, as well as the flare absorption. So we've taken in some energy lately in this battery. The Earth is like a capacitor. It's like a battery, and we can only hold so much charge. Excuse me. No, I don't want to read that one. I don't think this tracker, they kind of de-updated it, like took off the information. They should have at least left it on there so we could see what was still coming. Anyways, nothing to see there, so I don't know why the hell I'm showing it. Pardon my French. All right, let's see what this one has for us real quick. Try and get these little wavy lines and squares out of there. All right, hopefully it's loaded up now. We can play this little movie. We can play this little movie. Come on, Lord, help me play this little movie. Oh, this thing's taking forever to load up. It's not showing much. You see this little hump right here? It's just like an uptick in energy, so they're not really showing much here. Let's move on. This thing's taking forever, and it didn't have much to show. So, yeah, that was all I wanted to see there. Yeah. All right, so let me just read this article real quick to you. Good afternoon. Solar activity so far on Tuesday has been at low levels with only minor C flares detected. AR 3559 is now located behind the west limb, finally, and out of direct view. 4 new active regions are numbered today: AR 3566, 67, 69, 68, and 69. Of these, 3567 is the northeast quadrant, showing the most promise. This region right there. So we got new regions rotating around into the strike zone here. There is currently a 25% chance for a moderate M flare. Okay, moving on. Let's come on over here. So the radiation is subsiding. Here we go. Yesterday's solar radiation storm is subsiding. It is now a minor S1 class event, which poses no threat to astronauts or air travelers. Only Earth's polar regions are feeling and lingering effect from the storm. Shortwave radio transmissions, blah, 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 blah. Still being absorbed. Let's just see this real quick. This is the movie I wanted, I think. Yeah, this is the one. I think it is. We're almost there. See the little gray line? All right. Oh, good. It's already played. Now, here's your little delayer absorption, and it's flickering on and on. I think you see when these little bars jump, I think they missed some data. A couple of frames or whatever, missed some data. I remember last time when I was looking at this, it was, coming on and going off and doing this same flickering thing. I doubt if it's a flickering from the sun, really, to tell you the truth. This is probably more, data problems, glitches, issues, or whatever. But you can see this layer down here was, absorbing the southern pole. Up here, we're getting hit by the northern pole. So, but it's kind of over now. We saw right here. Let me pull this up. All right, that's what we're at now. So the event's over. Thankfully, it wasn't a super long one like the last time because we really cannot handle any more energy. We need some kind of release because there's going to be an overload here. There's something else I wanted to show you here. The NASA model for the CME suggests this is the one. All right. See how we're right here and it still shows clipping us or whatever? And I still think we're going to take a decent shot from this because when we looked at the sun, it wasn't right on the edge of the limb here. It was still kind of pointing this way. So I think we're going to get a tad bit more than what they're showing. You remember the original one that was way out here? I think Ben showed that one. He captured it in time before they removed it or whatever. But the original projection showed it kind of going right in this zone. Then the other endless spiral had it up here. Now this is adjusted in between those two right there, but still clipping us. Also here, north and south of us. See how it's still kind of clipping us, even though most of it goes north. So it still shows it hitting us. All right. So I think we're going to take on a little bit more than they're expecting. I pray I'm wrong. I don't like to be doom and gloom here. I like to be positive, but I think we might take a little bit more of a shot than having a G0 on February 1st. All right, because that happened, the 29th. So, yeah, it should be here by the 1st. So that'll change, I think. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Everybody pray. Okay, but anyways, back to there's your thing. And then also these magnetic field lines, like I was talking about, come off this side of the sun and curve back. So we were still magnetically attached to this event. So it also magnetically charged our planet as well, which is not good. I am a stickler for absorption. If you guys understood how important absorption is and the ramifications of it, you'd see why I'm such a stickler. All right, anyways, let's move on. Let's get over here to this human now. And yay, we have a green line, folks. Looky here. Boom, boom, boom. Little fluctuations in it and stuff, but it's coming back. All right, and that's good to see. I'd rather see this going on than, these little breakups here. It did get a little faint in that region right there, but not too bad. You can see these other areas, these other bands are gaining strength as well down here and stuff. That's a good indication that the core shell dynamo is spinning a little freer now and generating more of a natural magnetic field, a stronger natural magnetic field. And you can see there's little scrapings, a little white area right in here. I'm not going to really lose my focus on this one screen, but there's just a little white intensity right there. That's that layer, I believe, might be the magma crust boundary. So magma sliding along the underside of the crust, creating harmonic vibrations at this hertz level. Okay. Then you see these streaks like this. So it hasn't been all that stable. So you're still having fluctuations. You're probably still experiencing mood swings and pain. And another thing we need to talk about is when the field gets weak and we start to lose this 7.83 hertz, that's when people start to lose their capacity for subduing violence. And a lot of times people get more violent when there's no 7.83 hertz there to stabilize your brain. Okay. When that's missing, astronauts have gone crazy. They've tampered with removing this and seeing what happens with humans, and they lose their mind and start attacking each other. All right, so when you see those brownouts, don't be surprised to see some people's brains browning out too, if you know what I mean. All right, let's move on there. So far, we're coming out of it pretty good. We're pumping right along. That's good because we want a nice strong field for the first when this comes in. Or maybe, well, 29th, 30th, 31st. Yeah, probably the first. Between the 31st and the 1st, I think. Anyways, let's move on now. Come on over here to the solar ham. Or null school. My bad. You have to forgive me. I've been a long 72 hours. Okay, let's there's your polar vortex, by the way. Nice and compact, kind of lopsided off to one side of the planet, but definitely there. Very compact and very far north of North America here. Now, check out what's going on. This other sub vortex almost seems to be kind of making a comeback here. All right, look at this. Here's your central rotation, and it's going around like this. We got little disruptions. It changed a little bit. There was a second little vortex right here, or maybe it was this one. Yeah, I think it was this one. So we had this vortex, but there was another little one right here. We're having disruptions again here. This started to fade away, but now it looks like it's kind of coming back a little bit. We'll watch it, but it's not as strong as it used to be. It's not as organized. Doesn't look very threatening right now. But what I need to talk about here is now at this layer here, I want you to get a good look at the West Coast here because we got some storms coming into the West Coast. So as we start dropping down in altitude to the middle layer right here, you can still see your vortex effect, all right, and how it's guiding the air towards the West Coast here. Now we're going to your upper jet stream. This is not a glitch. This is what is happening to the West Coast right now. All right. This hot cocktail is coming right at the Bay Area and splitting up, going up north, taking stuff up into British Columbia, shunting stuff way down south here underneath this ridge. It comes back up across Mexico and is still slamming the Gulf Coast area. That's why we saw those storms lining up and scraping this Gulf Coast area. This deep wedge right here, this big, deep trough right there is going to mess with the weather a little bit. So that is your upper jet stream. Now, see it right here. Now I'm going to drop down to the lower jet. There you go. And you still see the correlations between the two jet streams, right? Look at what it's doing to the West Coast. This is your lower jet stream, all right? This is what steers your storm. Well, that's your storms right there, kind of. Let's drop down a little bit lower. And voila, there is the storm that's about to hit California. And this is no joke. This storm means business, you guys. Look at it. Look at it spinning. It looks like a freaking hurricane. All right. And this is going to lash this area with a lot of water, a lot of headaches, mudslides for burn scar areas, flash flooding. All right. You see this, how this intensity is just licking the coastline right there. This is going to be a gnarly storm. And then this thing, I think, continues across the country. We'll see in the forecast here in a little bit, but there's your polar vortex affecting the weather in this fashion now. All right. Now we're getting storms that are lining up out here in the Pacific. So the storm door is kind of open now for what they call the storm door for the Pacific or Pacific Northwest there. Oh yeah, we were changing to SO2 and taking the wind off. We need to check out our pressure. All right, we've had a lot of inbound energy, and it affects the pressure down below. It doesn't really look like it's increased or decreased. It's still kind of the same coloration we saw before. A little more filling in on the western half of the country now. It used to be a little clearer, but it is spreading a little bit. Some of these darker patches. Let's go up here and look at this area. All right, so you can make out the Great Lakes. You can pretty much give a good estimate of where things are about. And you can see the region that has a lot of pressure underneath it and is expelling more gas. These are all little individual sites, little plumes. Whoops. Pull back. Let's take a look at China. Ooh, it darkened up too. It's still that, let's say 7-ish coloring that I would, my little scale that I'm kind of giving to, give you an idea. Here you can see the Gobi Desert, and there's no leakage in this area because the dirt is so compact here. There used to be an inland ocean, and the pressure from all the water sitting on top compacted this. This is the ocean floor of some kind of body of water, and that's why you don't see any leakage in this area because it's so firmly compact. But it likes to sneak around the edges here, and that's where we were seeing our earthquake swarm was up in this region here. But as we back out, you see the dark purple, almost black. That means our pressure is up there. Okay, I'm not going to give it a 10, but I will say 7 on a scale of 1 to 10. I have seen it darker, so that's what I'm saying. All right, all individual sites here. Europe bleeding out. You see all these little different plumes. Let's come down to Java. Yeah, Java's still a purple island. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it at like a 7. The pressure gauge at 7 right there. And it'll be probably increase here as this energy is transferred to the core and the shell heat up, and then all of a sudden it heats up the magma. All that stuff expands, pushes upward underneath the underside of the crust, and the gas comes out first. 2 eyes, nose, and a mouth. No. But look at this. See this? It's a good indication too. This region right here, the coloration is pretty dark, especially this little spot right here, our fulcrum point. So yeah, I'd leave it at a 7 as far as our pressure goes. What was the other one, Lord? Oh, thank you. Our dust storm with air currents at 850. Whoops, air currents at 850, and we were right there. Oh, I want the wind. My bad. There we go. All right, so here you can see your dust plume that's coming off the Sahara is still continuing. You see all this particulate matter still getting kicked up and still being pushed out there. All right, so this is a long duration event as well. And now you see how air patterns have changed. You see this little ribbon that's formed right here as air flows over. It's kind of trapped it in this area. But now we have a flow that's going up through here. So watch out as it takes this plume and sucks it up through this way. Actually kind of keeping it out in the Atlantic instead of it hitting land, because this was pushing it towards the Americas. Well, this just diverted it right back up there. So for right now, we're going to see a little recycling of this dust storm in the air. And this way out of season. Okay, this is wintertime. We're not supposed to be having dust storms right now. Okay, this is a big sign right here. This should catch everybody's attention and make you wonder, something's out of whack here. But apparently it doesn't make the headlines. They don't want you knowing this stuff. Let's even get over here. I want to get this. There we go. Okay. Sand, grit, dirt, particulates coming all the way here, hitting the shoreline. More coming off here. And then you see how it's going to get sucked up into this little funnel system here and probably get redirected again back up towards Great Britain and Ireland. All right, so there was that. Was there anything else here, Lord? No? Okay, we're moving on. Let's get over to the earthquakes. Now, kind of quiet. We've had this subduing effect here as pressure builds and pushes up underneath. It almost stabilizes the crust from underneath. So let's just get into this. This is a recent quake. This isn't like our beginning quake of the day. This is a 5.1 at a depth of 10. So there was no real deep quake right now. It's because everything's still absorbing and brewing down there. Pretty soon, we're going to see a deep quake out of this region at a bigger magnitude, which will cause surface quakes up the system at a bigger magnitude as well. 5.1, I said? Yeah, 5.1 energy at the surface. Nothing really in this area. This one's probably deep. Well, 4.5 down at 138. There's a little pit right here. This region has deep quakes in it sometimes. This is a new little spot. 5.0 down at 40. But all in all, look how quiet it is through that whole region. Eerily quiet, isn't it? See? It's just silent. It's like the calm before the storm. That pressure is building down there, and it's like pushing up under there, stabilizing everything kind of for a minute. Now we're having quakes over here on the mid-Atlantic ridge. See, this is where pressure likes to escape, is this zipper area right here. 4.9. You know what we do with 0.9s here. There's your 5.0 energy right at the ridge. Everybody get ready for Iceland with this pressure building up, especially when we get this CME hit and that absorbs as well. We're going to have a burp from down below, and like sitting at the table, you can't let it out. You got to pinch your lips shut, and then your cheeks puff out. And when that puffs out, you're going to see fissures opening up, more of those cracks, probably fountains again, those curtains that they get up there. So everybody in Iceland, be prepared. Anybody around an active volcano, always be prepared, right? You know, alert. Here's a 4.4 here down at 57, and I think that's, down here. 5.1 down here at the South Sandwich Islands. We got volcanic activity down here. Remember the Michael Island volcano? We got another 5.0 right there down at 85. So that 5 energy around, but very sparingly. You know, just at the apex points right here, right at the beginning of this one, except for this new little region here. Let's take note of these little straits right through here, right in the middle where this hit. This could be a possible new site for, an outbreak. Say if we did have a big quake with a bunch of swarming around it, lately it's been picking out new sites, right? Not our old traditional sites. These bigger quakes are happening at different areas that we don't really expect. So this is kind of off of this little boundary line in this little straits area. See this row of volcanoes, volcanic islands that come right through here, this strip, this underwater seamounts, and some of them have made land. I mean, broken the surface. As we back out, You can see this little ridge that kind of connects here. So whatever's going on here, there's probably magma down below there pushing up under this area. What's going on? This is your nearest little island. You might see a little puff of smoke come out of it or something. So lately, our pressure has been coming out in the form of volcanoes instead of earthquakes. The pressure of the magma pushing up underneath the crust seems to have a semi-stabilizing effect. What's this one? Idaho 2.5. Okay. All right, so we're all good there. Let's move on to our volcano report here. Oh, you guys are chatting away. Awesome. I love it. All right, so here we are. Already the 30th here. Santa Guido, Fuego, Popo, Merapi, Semeru. Here's Merapi. We were trying to take a picture or a look at it last night, and instead it went off and produced a pyroclastic flow. So we'll definitely have an image to look at tonight. So pyroclastic flow flowing out of Semeru and on the island of Java. I mean, out of Merapi on the island of Java. All right, real quick. Strong eruption occurred at the volcano yesterday afternoon around 12:54 local time. A large hot avalanche known as a pyroclastic flow descended from the active lava dome. Also on Java is Semeru, a volcanic ash advisory out of the neighboring volcano. Where's the flight level? No, it doesn't say. But probably a pretty good blast out of it because it's right next to this one. Here's Popo with volcanic ash advisory, Santa Guido, 14,000 feet. Fuego. Mild explosive activity continues. Mild might change into more explosive activity. All right. Nevada del Ruiz, the same. Sangay had a blast of 20,000 feet. Reventador, 16,000 feet. Sabancaya, 23,000 feet. Okay. And let's see what Reventador did here. If we can, Lord. Can we open this up? One more time. Aha! Twice. On the 30th, it was 16,000 feet. On the 31st, it dropped 1,000 feet in elevation. So it lessened in intensity, but still producing over 10,000 feet. Currently erupting, 4 out of 5. Reventador. So some of these are, more than one blast. Well, that was over 2 days. But yesterday, we saw one that had 2 blasts in a day, 3 blasts in a day. So some of these volcanoes, this is where our pressure is being released from. And since it seems to be coming out more this form than, say, earthquakes, we might see a big volcanic explosion here soon with this new round of energy that we absorbed and still this CME on the way. Once we absorb all that and we get our resulting burp from down below, it might actually be so much pressure that you can't keep your lips closed and it comes out and you go like that in the form of a volcano. I hear you guys laughing. Alrighty. Let's just go ahead and let this loop play for a second here while I get my stuff together here. Yeah, it needs a minute to upload everything anyway. So, yeah, there's another little fire up right there. Okay. So, current conditions right now, we're starting to have landfall of this storm on the Pacific Northwest, Northern California area. This is the nighttime of the 30th, current conditions. As we go into the morning hours of the 31st, this severe band starts to make landfall here. We also have severe weather up here in BC. Get this a little more intense color at least. Did that work? Or did I just defeat it? All right. Anyways, morning time of the 31st. Backing up. Nighttime right now. The morning of the 31st. We have this big storm coming on shore. That's going to be the noontime hours. Look out for possible water spouts. Nothing big, but possible water spouts making landfall all along here. You see, even up in the Oregon coastline, even up in that area. All right, so this storm is packing a punch. That's the noontime making landfall. Then it starts to push inland by the end of convection. This is where they're showing a little bit of red, some intensity in there. It's going to be, heavy, heavy water downpours, large hail, high winds. You knock the power out, flash flooding. So everybody in Northern California, brace for impact. Everybody in the whole Pacific Northwest, brace for impact. Get ready. Then we get into the nighttime of the 31st. 24 hours from now, we're still going to have severe weather stretching all the way down the coast, pushing inland, creating snow in the Sierras as well. Then we get to the morning of the 1st here. Still severe weather down to San Diego or down to Los Angeles region, along Santa Barbara area there, pushing down to San Diego by the noon time of the 1st, even down into Mexico by the end of convection there. Then it kind of not disperses, but scatters up a little bit. Oh, disperses, yeah. And we still got a little bit of severe weather here, but this is the morning of the 2nd, the noon, convection, the nighttime. You see this low right here, this 994. It's got cold air on the backside. What's it doing? It's sucking up moisture from down here. Watch. Boom. It comes right up in there. This low starts to form here. Severe weather chances in Texas right there. The nighttime of the 2nd. Morning time convection on the 3rd. This is where we're going to get this right along the Gulf Coast here. Boom. The noon time of the 3rd. Convection right there. The night time of the 3rd. Morning of the 4th. Noon. Now watch out here in Florida as this stuff approaches the west coast of Florida. Also, we have this low sneaking down under and uppercutting California here. Just as we go boom, boom, right there by the noon time of the 4th. Severe weather possibly hitting California here again. Look at this, right at the Bay Area at convection time. Wow. So your cloud tops be highest at the end of the day right here, right as this is 979 millibar as this category 1 hurricane makes landfall on California. Boom, 977 millibar. What? Anyways, this still kind of spinning back around, hitting the coast here. So watch out for this. It's still got this long arm of precipitation coming down too. But this right here, oh my goodness. 979, 989. So we're backing up a little bit. I got to check this out. So it comes into view at 989 millibars, drops to 979, 977, 976, then goes up to 982. Bomb cyclone type effect there, you guys, here around the 4th. So morning of the 4th, here it comes. By noon, it's there. By the afternoon, it's on. And at nighttime, it's just going to rage on California there. Everybody get ready in California on the 4th. That's no joke. That's too close to now to change much. That's That's in the strike zone now. So something like this, very similar to this, is going to happen here in California on the 4th. So that gives you, what, 4 or 5 days to prepare. You're actually less than that because you might not have that day right there to prepare. Tomorrow. That's now. Going into tomorrow. So tomorrow, California, hold on. When it clears out, clean up, get ready, brace for impact of the second one coming in here. Bam. Whew. That is and then it still rotates around, kind of recycles and comes back in again. All this is subject to change. That's why I'm not calling this out right now, because this is everything's changing too quickly now to really call out this far in advance. But it is good to look at and get an idea of what at least the models are thinking. All right. The closer we get to these events, the more solid they become. Okay. That's why I go all the way out into the future here, just to take a peek so we know what to expect coming down the pike. Boom. Right there. Then the uppercut. Bam. Oh my. All right, so everybody on the West Coast, it's your turn now. You know, this region has gotten hit by tornadoes, and they've had their bout. Now it looks like the West Coast is about to experience some winter. And I heard projections here. Let's see, where did it go? No, stop right there. Not total snowfall. There we go. All right, here comes your snowfall. So, oh, dang it. Come on back here, you. So this will be the noontime of the 5th. Right here. This is the morning of the 5th. The end of the nighttime of the 4th here. Let's go just a tad bit into the 5th here. By convection the 5th, we're going to have 8 to 10 feet in the Sierra Nevadas. All right. So that's a lot of snow. You guys I'm in this area. I already know what to do. But people that are going to try to plan to get to Tahoe, via these highways, those passes are going to be mighty gnarly. That's a lot of snow coming. There's going to be avalanches. Fair warning, don't go out in the back country right after these events. All right. This is going to be a lot of snow all at once, very heavy snow. And, it's going to cause avalanches. So, fair warning, skiers and stuff, be on alert for avalanches. People will probably die. They won't be alert enough. Somebody will go out of bounds or whatever and cause an avalanche. Something will probably happen, especially with this amount of snow. Okay, that's going to be quite an event. And we just kind of continue on here, and it only gets deeper because you get more and more and more snow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's not updated. But for you folks in these other parts of the country here, you want to see your snow totals. Snow totals in Oklahoma. So, by the 15th of February, midway through the month, a lot of the region is going to be covered in snow. Okay. And lots for the Sierra there. Dang it. This thing is so touchy. All right. Especially a lot for the Sierra right there. Okay. Now, moving on. Oh, that was all of it. Okay, cool. Now we can kind of let that thing run for a minute while we X out of the volcanoes, the earthquakes. This one. Oh, I did not have anything pulled out for the spiritual report tonight. Lord, what are we going to do for spiritual report tonight? Aw, come on. No. I want to go to my channel here. Sorry, we're trying to pull up my channel here. All right. Yeah, so when worlds collide, not only these other planetary objects interfering with our sun, but we're colliding with the spiritual realm. Yes, we are. And what do you want me to do now, Lord? Play this one? Okay. All right, we're going to play this one for just a second here while I get organized here. You have sound, Lord? Never captured. And what's going on here is I'm here on my knees. I'm crying and screaming and praying, all three at once. I was in some extreme anguish. Paranormal traumatic event happened to me. Something so unbelievable you guys wouldn't believe it. So if I told you, so I'm going to show you instead. So in this image here, I'm sitting here praying, and Mary's head appears right next to my head, and we're going to zoom in on this. You can't go in too tight on it, but she's looking down at my head this way. Let's see, yeah, let me pretty good. And you can make out her eye and her nose coming down, her shawl coming over, and it's in shadow right here. This is a shadow of the inside of her shawl going over her head like this. Here's her eye, her nose, her other eye would be on the other side there. Okay. You can't go in too tight on it. And then also is this white ball with an eye in it, this white orb with an eye in it. Okay, and that's not all, because over here in this corner up here is an angel. The silhouette of an angel with his wings spread, with his back to us, standing in a shaft of light. Here's his head. There's a glow over the head. The wings are extended, and there's a feather coming off. The last feather coming off is crossing over these brown roof tiles in the background here. And you can make out there's an angel right here. And you can even see his head right here. I'm going a little bit tighter. So there's the angel with his back to us and his wings spread. Let me try to do something here. Maybe that captures it a little bit better. Sometimes it's too bright. Okay, hopefully here you can make out this feather coming off. Right here, this little white dot going across these brown roof tiles. It's not in our garage. This is the other realm crossing over and blending into our realm right there. And hopefully you guys can see the silhouette of this angel. You can see these wings spread right here. It looks like he has his back to us. This would be the back of his head right here. It looks like he's looking up this way or something. All right. So when I was telling you about these angels and that they're messengers, right? Yeah. All kinds of messages happened here. This is more than what it appears. This actual picture here is an anointing ceremony because something happened to me, and well, let's just say this was I don't know, this was a result. Anyways, interesting stuff though. This happened on October 5th of 2017. So October 5th, 12 days after the Revelation 12 star alignment in the sky. Okay? 12 days after that star alignment, this happened to me in my garage, captured on my security camera. Okay, so there's that for the moment. And what are we going to do, Lord? We're going to stick with that image. Yeah, we'll kind of do some reading to this one as well. And that way you kind of understand the spiritual realm is real. You're looking at it right there. That's the spiritual realm. The veil is getting thin. All right, so okay, help me, Lord. Okay, here we go. There is no condemnation for those who are in me. The law of the Spirit of life has set you free from the law of sin and death. Not many Christians know how to live in this radical freedom, which is their bright light, which is their birthright. My bad. Let me repeat that again. Not many Christians know how to live in this radical freedom, which is their birthright. There is no condemnation for those who are in me. The law of the Spirit of life has set you free from the law of sin and death. I died to set you free, so live freely in me. To walk along the path of freedom, you must keep your mind firmly fixed on me. Many voices proclaim, this is the way for you to go, but only my voice tells you the true way. If you follow the way of the world with all its glitter and glamour, you will descend deeper and deeper into an abyss. Christian voices also can lead you astray. Do this, don't do that. Pray this way, don't pray that way. If you listen to all those voices, you will become increasingly confused. Be content to be a simple sheep, listening for my voice and following me. I will lead you into restful green pastures and guide you along paths of righteousness. So come to me and rest in my peace. My face is shining upon you in rays of peace transcending understanding. Instead of trying to figure things out yourself, you can relax in the presence of the one who knows everything. As you lean on me in trusting dependence, you feel peaceful and complete. This is how I designed you to live, in close communion with me. When you're around other people, you tend to cater to their expectations, real or imagined. You feel enslaved to pleasing them, and your awareness of my presence grows dim. Your efforts to win their approval eventually exhaust you. You offer these people dry crumbs rather than living water of my spirit flowing through you. This is not my way for you. Stay in touch with me, even during your busiest moments. Let my spirit give you words of grace as you live in the light of my peace. Okay. I guess we're going to change images real quick here. Let me get this one pulled up again. Where are we going with this? Oh, that one. Okay. Oh, go. Commercial too. Halo around his head too. Back. So I know there's a lot of activity going on the sun, but I really don't feel like reporting on that stuff right now. Actually, I want to go back and revisit an event that happened earlier this year, 2020, around Easter, when I captured what appears to be Jesus in the clouds here. So on Easter, you tilt your head to the right about 45 degrees, and here's an eye, his other eye, his nose, his mouth, his chin and beard, his hair flowing back like this, and you can make out a crown up here above his head. That crown is hovering over his head. There seems to be almost a little halo around his head, too. And once you see that image, then we can zoom in just a little bit tighter. There you go. All right, there you go. All right, now back to this part. Okay, so hold things with loose hands, but cling tightly and always to my hand. To be spiritually healthy, you must not be overly attached to your possessions. I repeat, to be spiritually healthy, you must not be overly attached to your possessions. These are all blessings from me, so receive them with thankfulness. But don't forget that ultimately, I am the owner of everything. It's also important to hold people with open hands. Cherish your family and friends, yet beware of making them idols. If your life revolves around someone other than me, you need to repent, changing your ways, and returning to me. Make me your first love, seeking to please me above all else. Another thing to hold loosely is control over your circumstances. I'm going to repeat this again. Another thing to hold loosely is control over your circumstances. When your life is flowing smoothly, it's easy to feel as if you're in control. So enjoy these peaceful times, but don't cling to them or think they are normal. Instead, cling tightly to my hand in good times, in hard times, in all times. Good times are better and hardship is more bearable when you're trustingly depending on me. My abiding presence is your portion forever. So don't be afraid to tell me how weak or weary or even overwhelmed you feel at times. I am fully aware of the depth and breadth of your difficulties. Nothing is hidden from me. Although I know everything, I wait to hear from you. I wait to hear from you. So pour out your heart to me, for I am your refuge. There can be peaceful intimacy in sharing your struggles with me. You let down your guard and your pretense, and you get real with me and with yourself. Then you rest in the safety of my presence, trusting that I understand you perfectly and love you with an everlasting love. So relax deeply with me. Release yourself from striving to perform. Be still, letting my presence refresh and renew you. When you are ready, ask me to show you the way forward. Remember that I never leave your side. I am holding you by your right hand. This gives you courage and confidence to continue your journey. I repeat, this gives you courage and confidence to continue your journey. As you go along your path, hear me saying, do not fear. I will help you. Okay. Whew. Oh, I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was good reading there. Yeah, lots of stuff going on. So, when things get overwhelming, hold on. Hold on to my hand, okay? Right here, right now. The moment you get that, all of a sudden you will get peace. The moment you trust me and you start to believe me, magic happens in your life. All of a sudden, you're just like, what? Oh my God, yeah. You live a lot more freely. Most of you, before you came to my channel and witnessed this, you guys weren't living freely. How many of you now have a new perspective on life? How many of you now appreciate each and every day a lot more than you used to? You're living richer, fuller lives for the Lord. I love you guys. It's important that you know what I'm trying to tell you here. Okay? I can't just come out and say it because then it doesn't work. You guys have to, it's a revelation. It has to be revealed to you. Okay? You have eyes to see. Hopefully, you guys have ears to hear me as well. Okay? Take comfort. Know that I'm here. I know what you're going through. Right? This is your foundation. I keep showing you this picture because this is your foundation. You hold on to this picture with your heart, dude, with everything you got. Because with the way things are going, this is the only thing that's going to bring you peace, is knowing that this is real. Knowing. Your faith can go further into knowing. All right? Faith, there's nothing wrong with your faith, too. Okay? Both of those together you're going to need for this spiritual battle that they're pulling on you guys. All right? So, hang in there. You guys keep praying for each other. Pray for each other's endurance. Pray for each other's, health issues. All kinds of different stuff I can answer as long as it's in the will of God. All right? We're not praying for money and for Lamborghinis and stuff like that anymore. Enough of the childish stuff. Pray for real things, for each other. Those are ones I can answer when you guys are praying for one another. Okay, those are a pleasure to answer. It's the selfish prayers about you want, me. No, pray for others. Somebody else will be praying for you, and then I can answer their prayer, and you'll get what you want or what they prayed for you. Okay, that's how it works. I love you guys. I really do. I love you all. I put my life on the line to bring this information to you guys, all right? There's a target on my back for bringing this vital information forward. But I will continue to bring this forward every night until we're done. All right? It's important you guys share this too, all right? You'll see the blessing in it. When you share this, you're blessed. You can see the blessing the other person gets when you share this with them, right? That one's obvious. But what's not so obvious is the blessing you get for sharing it, okay? That's important that you understand it. You guys understand it here. Anyways, I love you guys. I miss you guys. I'm fighting for you guys. You guys stand strong, all right? United. We can be united. The more united we are, the more unstoppable. Okay? So, I pledge allegiance to the God who rescues the United States of America. And in order for this republic to stand as one nation under God, we need to be indivisible if we want liberty and justice for all. That's it. I love you all. God bless you all. And until my next show, I'll be back. I am back. Can't you tell?